Hey, y'all, welcome to the Building a Brand podcast series where we talk about a wide variety of different topics and how it relates to the business journey, current business news, as well as, just plain old business in general. I'm your host, Jeremy Patton, and without further ado, we'll dive right in. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Building a Brand with Jeremy Patton podcast series. Now, the question of the day is, have you ever taken on a task or a responsibility that you have never taken on before? You weren't too sure how to complete it, and you may have struggled while you're doing that task or that responsibility. But when it was done, you had a sense of pride and joy that you completed something that you didn't know how to do. That could be school, that could be a project around the house, that could be a project at work, or anything and everything in between. Well, that takes us to today's topic. The title of today's episode is The Pride of Completing Something, or the pride of the creation of something. Now, why are we going to talk about that? We're talking about that today because it is underrated the amount of effort and work that goes into creating a business or creating a brand, creating a product or a service, and offering it to the world. A lot of people see the finished products and finished goods that established companies have perfected. A lot of people see companies, products, and services that are centuries or decades in the making. They had time to go through their trial and error period, and they see the finished product. They see the $1 million advertisements, and they think that that is normal. They think that anybody that has a product or a service should have that same standard. Now, the goal is to get to a standard that is similar or get to a quality that is similar or better. But that's not where many entrepreneurs start off. Many entrepreneurs start off with the tools and the resources that they have. And again, with social media these days, you have brands that have been around for years, and you have business owners that have been around for years who have taken the time and they have perfected some of their craft, and they present that image of them making it or after they made it. And as a outside viewer, you see that image that you see or that they display today, but they didn't always start off that way. They didn't always, look that way. They didn't have that success from the get-go. It's a trial and error. It's a learning curve. And I want to bring some light to that. And I want to shine some light to the pride and joy that you get from creating something, because a lot of people are intimidated because they may not have that same quality that established brands or companies do, but they don't realize that they have to go through that journey. And once they get through that journey, there is a overwhelming joy and pride that overwhelms them, that they embody. Now, one of the first areas of pride behind a creation is the gratification and the inspiration of creating something. It's like being motivated. Say if you have a goal or a task or something that you need to complete. It's daunting, but you have to do it anyways. And or you want to do it. And you approach it, you take your time, you go through it. You may mess up a few times, but eventually, if you keep at it, you will succeed and you'll finish that project or that task. And the more times that you do that project or that task, the better you'll get. Think about literally any job that you ever had. If you are new to whatever that company's process is, if you are new to whatever your task and responsibilities will be within that job, then there is a training period where you are given leadway and almost expected to mess up. And in time, with proper training, with proper approach to improve whatever it is that you're doing, you will become more efficient and better at whatever that task or that responsibility is. And eventually, whoever is training you will wander off and they'll handle their own responsibilities, and you'll be left there to handle that task or that responsibility on your own. And before you know it, you'll be able to actually handle and properly complete that task or responsibility on your own. And creating a product, creating a service, creating a business, building a brand is the exact same way, right? You start off and you may have different trials and errors. You may have a learning curve that you have to get over. We all have a learning curve to some extent. Now, some people have access to other people that have already experienced their learning curve. And so they have been able to pass on their knowledge to you or to them to make their process a bit easier. And some people, it comes natural or it comes easier to pick up, but there's a learning curve for everybody. But as long as you keep at it, write down goals and take steps, concrete steps to get into your ultimate goal. With each step, you'll start to feel a bit of momentum that will push you closer and closer to your ultimate goal. And that is a feeling, or that provides a feeling that is like almost like priceless. There's a sense of joy when you see something that you put in the work, put in the effort to learn how to do, to perfect your craft, to practice and perfect your craft. And you can always get better, you can always improve, but it's a priceless feeling when you see your finished product complete and done. And then it's even more priceless when you continue to work on it, your craft, and you see the improvement, you see that it's getting better over time. And we live in a world and a society where there are a lot of negative events, a lot of negative emotions going on, and bringing some form of joy to your life in the process of creating a product, a service, a business, or a brand is like, it's almost essential at this point. So that's my first reason, or the first area of the sense of pride that comes from creating something. Now, the second is the support and the appreciation. This is something that only people that create a business or a product could probably relate to. And I say that because most times when people create something or they go into business for themselves, and if you have, you can comment below if you've experienced this. If you have not gone into business for yourself, but you're considering it. Oh, why this thing does that? Sorry. Let me pull my screen back up. If you are in the process or thinking about building a company or starting a company, then you will see that you will have some people that you already know, whether it's friends and family members or associates that support you, but you'll have a overwhelming amount of people that you may have thought would help or support you that simply don't. And as you continue along your process, as you continue along your journey, you will eventually, you will start to pick up momentum. And as you improve along your journey and your process, you'll see some support pick up within, you know, your friends, your family, and associate circle. But also, you will see at the support of complete strangers. If I had been paid for every stranger that has reached out and said, "Hey, you and your words, or you and your products, you and your journey, you and your process, you and your business have helped me or have helped benefit my day or my personal journey," then I would, you know, I would be financially free, you know. Uh, but I say that to say that you'll get a lot of support from people that you don't know. You'll get a lot of support from people that you didn't even realize that your business is impacting, or that are watching you and that are supporting you. And that provides an extra form of motivation and inspiration, as well as pride from whatever it is that you created. And it could be anything. It could be a product, it could be a service. Uh, if it is making somebody's life better, if it is making somebody's life or their something, a process or something that they have to do in their life better, if it is giving somebody some form of hope or some form of joy, then you are essentially positively impacting the world. And that builds up, and that means a lot. And that will keep you motivated and keep you going along your journey, because uh, building your company, building your brand, sometimes it can be lonely. Sometimes you can be in a space where you expect or hope for help or support or company along your journey, but it's not guaranteed. This is your journey. And at the end of the day, you have to take it by yourself. You have to go at it by yourself. You have to be the one that puts in the work. You have to be the one that does the research. You have to be the one that, when you reach out for support and that support doesn't come, you have to be the one to learn that skill or that process. And you have to get grinding, and you have to perfect that process. If that process is going to get you to the next step or the next level of your business, you're going to have to do that. Unless you have money to outsource, then, and if you do, by all means, outsource. If you don't, And most people don't. And that's okay. It might take a little longer, but you could you could learn whatever that process is. You could learn whatever the task is or whatever the responsibility is that you have within your business, and constantly seek knowledge to improve, constantly practice, and in time you will get better at it. And again, you as you get better, as you put your product or your service or yourself out there more, then you will see that there is more support out there than you initially thought. The next one I got is the joy of making money from something you created. Don't get me wrong. Anybody that has a job, they are working for their money. And there is and should be a lot of pride in making money from the work that you put out and the effort that you put out. But there is a different experience of joy, and there's a different level of joy when it is something that you created and somebody says, hey, I'm willing to pay money for your creation, or I'm willing to pay money for your product, your service. I'm willing to pay money to your company, your brand, because it will impact me, or it has positively impacted me, or because I need it, I want it, or I like it. And that joy, it goes a long way. I can't say it goes further than working a 9 to 5, because one, everybody's 9 to 5 job is different. Everybody's situation is different. But again, there is a different experience when you are receiving a form of income based off of your products, your services, and the company that you created. Now, the next one I got is the parent complex. I call it the parent complex. I don't know if that's an official term or not, but that's why I call it. But the parent complex is essentially like raising a child and comparing it to building a business or building a brand. Initially, you don't know what you're doing, especially as a first time parent, right? You don't know what you're doing. You could read books, you could hear people's advice. Everybody will tell you and give you their input on what they think that you should do with your business. And there will be times where you mess up. But if you learn from those mistakes and you keep at it and you continue to improve on whatever your product, your service is, and you continue to improve on all aspects of your business, like I said before, you'll begin to see the improvements of your business. The quality will improve, the support and appreciation for your business will improve, or will increase, I should say. The level of joy and sense of pride will also increase, because again, it's like a momentum. The more you do, the better along you get, and the further you push yourself, the scale starts to weigh in your favor, and you begin to get to see the growth of your business. And that growth is like extremely important. And a lot of people go through the process of building a business with the hopes that their business will be a success overnight. And some people are lucky enough where that is the case. But for the mass majority of us, you're going to have to build that business up. You're going to have to improve on processes. Uh, the you might have to change what the scope of your business is, but with time, your business can be improved and can be perfected. And enjoy that journey, enjoy the growth. Like that, the journey actually makes you stronger. It makes you better. It makes you more resilient of negative things that will come your way, not just in the business world, but just in life in general, because all of the process of building a business is very taxing mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You'll go through a wide range of different emotions along your business journey. And if you could find a way to push through those negative times or the times where you are unmotivated, then you can like really appreciate the times when you begin to succeed. And once you are successful in your own definition and in your own rights, you could appreciate that success a whole lot more, right? Because you put in the work, you put in the effort, you put in the time, you studied, you learned from your mistakes, you put yourself out there and you took chances. And again, there will be times where you question what you're doing. There will be times where you doubt it. There will be times where you don't have support or you feel like you don't have support. But keep pushing, and all those negative emotions will subside. And you will, again, taking it back to the topic of today's conversation, you'll get a sense of pride seeing your business grow. And then the last area of the sense of pride is I like to bring it back to the kids, right? And to the youth, to the future of the kids and the youth. Start your business or keep at your business for the youth. Keep at your business for your kids and your children, and heck, perhaps their children, because there is going to be a time where you have kids that look up to you, or you have your grandchildren that look up to you, or where the future looks up to their elders, essentially. And they are going to look to them for advice and support. And the way that society is going, the way that the climate of society is headed, the youth aren't here for a 9 to 5. They are not having it. They are finding ways to go into business for themselves. They are creating their own path, their own success, their own ways and journey to creating revenue. And you going along your business journey could make their business journey easier. Now, mind you, you have to turn around and help teach them and help guide them. You can't necessarily do it for them because they too need to go through some of the process to learn and to experience and grow themselves. But you could help make their process and their journey easier. And there's a sense of pride that comes with that, right? I've been to many vendor events and I've seen parents out there that bring their kids along and they have their kids going through and operating their vendor station. And the level of growth and advancement that that gives kids is beyond priceless, because you don't learn these things in school. And when you teach your kids how to run and operate a business, when you teach your kids to put themselves out there, get in front of customers, to interact, to make sales, to explain your different products or services, that goes so much further in that child's life, and in comparison of them not having that experience. And from my vantage point, seeing the kids out there with their parents, you could see that the kids have a sense of pride and joy in the company that their parent runs. You could see that they look up to their parents as role models. You could see that they are walking in the footsteps of their parents. And the kids of today are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. So creating a business and learning how to properly operate and run a business and passing that knowledge on to your youth, you are setting your kids up for a better chance of success. And you are setting your kids up for a better chance of being able to create their own business or being able to run a business or run a company. It might not be in their destination or in their destiny to create a business, but having that knowledge, they could take that and they can apply it to running any company, because essentially it's all the same. Whether you have a small business, a mid-sized business, or one of these large corporations, there are still standard business procedures that are involved and that are required to properly run that business. And again, giving your kids that experience will help set them up for better success. That's my 2 cents. And that is going to conclude today's episode. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and you guys have a good one. Until next time, take care. And as always, deuces. All right, y'all. That'll conclude today's episode of the Building a Brand podcast series. Thank you for joining us today. As always, please comment your thoughts on today's episode below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on future episodes. And as always, have a wonderful, exciting, and informative day. You guys take care. And as always, deuces.